Doctor.
Okay. So last week I asked you to do this exercise. Okay. So basically you're going to use if else statement here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show to you my sample coding. Okay. So you can see the sample and then maybe we have some difference lah. Dia bukanlah orang kata 100% similar. Okay. Okay. So this is my sample answer. Okay, first I will ask user to enter coordinate for x and y, and then I will put I will store the input from the user in for x in variable name x, for coordinate y in variable name y. Okay. Okay. So now based on our flowchart, after user enter this x and y, I will do this decision making, okay, based on this if else. Okay, so in my coding I do like this. I will determine the quadrant for that coordinate using multi selection decision making. Okay, so I will use if x more than 0, and then I will use and boolean. Okay, and y more than 0 means that I want to check if the coordinate for x and y are in positive. Okay, if this condition is true, I will print coordinate xy in quadrant 1. Okay, but if this condition is not true, I will move to elif here, and then I will have another condition which is x less than 0, which is I want to check whether x coordinate is negative and y more than 0. Sorry, this x is less than 0 and y more than 0 means that y is positive. So if this condition is true, I will print coordinate xy in quadrant 2. Okay, so if you still remember, we have this one, right? Okay, so here quadrant 1, if your x is positive, y positive, so it will be quadrant 1. But if the coordinate x is negative, which is here, and y is positive, which is around here, so the coordinate will be at quadrant 2. If the x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is negative, means that it is somewhere here, so our quadrant will be 3. Okay, but if the coordinate x is positive and coordinate y is negative, so quadrant will be 4. So based on this one. Okay, so now next, if this condition is not true, which is false, we go to the next elif. X less than 0 and y less than 0 means that both coordinates are negative. So if this condition is true, we will print coordinate xy in quadrant 3. Okay, else if this condition also false, we will go to else, means that both coordinates are positive. So we will print coordinate xy in if this condition is also false, we will go to else, means that x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative. So we will print coordinate xy in quadrant 4. Okay, so let's debug. Okay, so we ask user to enter first. So let's say I enter 4, and then y is 2. Okay, so supposedly it will print coordinate xy in quadrant 1. Okay, let's check one by one. Okay, current x is 4. 4 more than 0, true or false? True or false, class?
True, true.
True. Okay, so it is true. Okay, and y, which is 2 more than 0, also true. Okay, since we use boolean and, it will check both input, okay, both condition. So true and true will be true. So means that this condition is true. So we will print coordinate xy in quadrant 1. Okay. Again, so let's say now I will put -5 for x. Okay, for y I will put I will enter 4. Okay, I will enter 4. Okay, so we will go one by one. Okay, semula. Saya tertekan step over. Okay, sekali lagi ya. Okay, let's say for coordinate x I put -5. For coordinate y I put 4. Okay, if we go one by one, first we check with the first condition, x -5 more than 0, which is false. So when we use this one, okay, when we use and, either one input is false, automatically the output will be false. Okay, so that's why it jump to the next elif. Okay, so now x is -5 less than 0, true, and it will check with y 4 more than 0, also true. So because true and true will be true. So it will print quadrant 2. Okay, we try again. One more. Let's clear this one first. We debug again. Let's say now I'm going to enter. Okay, I'm going to enter -6 for x, and then for y I will enter -2. Okay. Enter. Okay, so now when we go one by one, x is -6 more than 0, false. Okay, and then we will go to the next one, x -6 less than 0, true or false? -6 less than 0?
True.
True. Okay, so this condition is true.
True.
And then once the first condition is true, it will check to the next condition. Okay, and y is -2 more than 0. Is it true or false?
False.
False. Okay, so this one is false.
Yes.
Okay, so now because we use and, so it will check true and false will be false. Okay, so when this condition is false, if we go to the next condition, so it will check with this one, x -6 less than 0, which is true, and y
True.
-2 less than 0,
Yes.
also true. True and true will be
Great.
true. Okay, done. Okay, understand?
Yes,
Yes.
madam.
Okay,
madam.
good. Okay, since you already understand, very good. We do next exercise. Okay. Okay, use the same coding, but you have to enhance something there. I want you to develop a program to compute the tip position PXY of the robot arm. Okay, I want you to compute the robot arm position as shown in figure below. The computation is done based on the formulas given. So you're going to ask user to enter theta in degree. Okay, the theta is between -180 to 180, and also you ask user to enter robot arm length. Okay, so this is the figure for robot arm length. So let's say that robot arm fall here, so it will be in quadrant 1. Let's say robot arm fall here in inside quadrant 2. Let's say fall here, it will be quadrant 3. If fall here, it will be quadrant 4. Okay, so how to get that robot arm position? Okay, you must calculate the x and y coordinate using this formula. To get x coordinate for this robot arm, you use this formula. X equal to length times cos theta. To get y coordinate for that arm length, okay, for that robot arm, you use this formula. Y equal to length times sin theta, okay, sin theta. Okay. Here, as I mentioned before, in Python, any value of theta, it will be calculated in radian. So, for you to calculate this value, the cos of theta, sin of theta, you need to convert the theta that have been entered by user in degree to radian, okay, before you can compute the x and y, okay. So means that after user enter the theta in degree, you need to convert it into radian first before you calculate the x and y, okay. So what is the function that you're going to use in mathematics module to convert the degree into radian? What is that function? Math dot
Import. Import.
Huh?
Radian.
Radians. Math dot radians. Okay. So you have to convert that theta that user enter in degree into radian first, and then after that you will calculate the x and y, and after you calculate the x and y, you will determine in which quadrant that robot arm falls. Okay. However, what if the robot arm fall here? Let's say robot arm falls at x0, y0, x5. For example, that robot arm falls at coordinate x is, sekejap saya tulislah. Okay, let's say robot arm falls at, when you calculate the x and y, the robot arm falls at x is 5, y is 0. So, you will print the robot arm falls at horizontal right. Okay. How about if robot arm falls at x0, y4? So, you will print vertical upwards. Okay. What about if it falls at x0, y negative 3, for example? So, you will print vertical downwards. Okay. What about if that robot arm falls at x negative 5, y0? So, you will print horizontal left. Okay. So, means that based on your coding, your existing coding, you need to enhance your decision making by having these conditions as well. Okay. Okay, so this is the example of the output. Your program consider will be correct if when you check with this sample output samples, let's say user enter degree 0 and robot arm is 5, you will get coordinate 5, 0, and then robot arm is horizontal right. Okay, so if you test with this output sample and you get the same output like here, okay, like here, means that your coding is correct. Okay, okay class, can you do it? Boleh. Okay, how many minutes that you want? How long 20, 30? Hey, kelas, kenapa senyap ni? 20, 30?
20 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. So, I give you 30
35.
minutes. I will come back to you and we will discuss the answer. pukul berapa 2:50, okay?
Boleh.
Okay, class, 2:50.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
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 Okay,
Okay,
So
doctor.
do it now. Okay. Okay. So this is my sample coding for this one, this exercise. Okay. Okay. So first, because I'm going to use radians, cos, and sine, so I need to import the module math from Python library. So here I import math, okay, and then after that, for the input, I will ask user to enter theta in degree and robot arm length, okay. So that's why you can see here my instruction to the user. Enter theta in degree between negative 180 to 180 degree. So when user enter the theta in degree, I will put in the variable names theta. Okay, theta. So my variable name is theta. And then I will ask user to enter robot arm length. So when user enter that robot arm length, I will put in the variable name length, length. Okay. And then after that, I will convert the theta in degree to radian using math function. So how to do it? I will have one variable to store the value that have been converted. Okay. So I have the variable name theta rad. Theta capital letter AD. Okay. I put this name variable. This variable name, and then this variable will store the value after degree. Okay. After degree here been converted into radian. So I will call function in math, which is math.radians. I will convert this theta coming from here. Okay, coming from this value, convert here. Okay, now after I convert this theta into radian, I will compute the coordinate of x and y for the robot arm. Okay, how to convert it? Using this formula. Okay, so I will use this formula. Okay, so first I will compute x coordinate, which is I will have my variable name x. X equal to length times cos theta. So I'm going to use cos function in math. So that's why I have math dot cos. What I'm going to calculate is based on theta radian here. Okay, the value from this theta radian I will put here. Okay. And then for y coordinate, I will calculate length time math dot sine and then theta radian here. Okay. So now I already have the coordinate x and y. Okay. Okay. And
Madam,
then yes.
can we convert the theta when doing the calculation for length times the angle
Length that times what?
in x? Can we convert theta to radian in that x equal to length time math cosine in same in
Sorry,
same
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Can you write in the chat?
all right.
Okay. Okay. Now I just proceed. Okay. So after that, this one, I just print out the value of my x and y. And then after that, I will determine the coordinate of the robot arm in which part using multi-selection. Okay, so this one, if x equal to 0 and y more than 0, means that it is here, x, this one, okay, here in this part, okay. So I will print vertical upwards. Okay, so I will print vertical upwards. Okay, but if this condition is not true, I will go to the next condition, if x equal to 0 and y less than 0. Means that y is negative, x is 0. So x 0, y negative, which is here. Okay, here. So I will print vertical downwards. Okay, so I will print vertical downwards. But if this condition is not true, I will check with another condition, which is if x less than 0 and y equal to 0. So means that x is negative, y is 0. So x negative, y is 0 here, somewhere here. So I will print horizontal left. Okay, so I will print horizontal left. Okay, but if this condition is not true, I will check with elif x more than 0 and y equal to 0. Means that x is positive, y is 0. Okay, x positive, y is 0 somewhere here. So I will print horizontal right. Okay, so I will print horizontal right. And then after that, the rest is the condition similar like before. Okay, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay, do you understand, guys, what I did? This is my sample coding. Basically, in coding, we might have a different style of coding, but as long as your output is correct, so it will it can be considered as correct. Okay. So far, do you understand what I did in my coding?
Yes,
Understood, madam.
Okay. So okay, so let's say now I will okay, take a look carefully this one. Okay, I will run my coding. Okay, so I will test with my sample output. Okay, now let's say I enter 0. Okay, so now I will enter 0. The degree is 0, and then the robot arm is 5. So it will have the robot arm is horizontal right. Is it correct or not? Is it correct or not? Correct, right? Class?
Correct, madam.
Right, Okay, so let's try again with another input. Let's say I have 90 and 5. Okay. Okay, now I have 90 and 5. Okay. Okay, can you see now? The robot arm is at quadrant 1. Okay. Supposedly, the robot arm is at vertical upwards. Okay, so there's something wrong with my coding. This is not syntax error, but more to the semantic error, semantic logic lah. Okay. So, if you can see here, this value, we don't know what is this coordinate. Okay, so let's say I put here. So I know that this coordinate, this number, this value is not represent the real coordinate. Okay, the coordinate. So let's say I put here round. I will round here. I want to round my x by having 2 floating point, and my y also by having 2 floating point. Okay, so if I run again with the same input, 90 and length is 5, so I will get 0, 5. Okay, so you can see here I already get 0, 5, and it must be at vertical upwards. Okay, however, in my case, it's still at quadrant 1, so my coding still not correct. Okay, the semantic is not correct. Why? Okay, you can see here. In my x, I still have the strange value here. It is not 0.0, right? But in my output, I already have 0.0. But in my variable, it still remain the same value as before. Okay, so means that I cannot round here. Okay, because I round at print. Print doesn't round at the actual value. Okay, actual value of that variable. So what I need to do now is, this is wrong. By semantic, this is wrong. By logic, semantic logic is wrong. So I'm not supposed to round it here because it not round at the variable value. So I must round it here. So I will round it here. Okay. Okay, so you can see now if I round here, my value in the variable remain the same. Okay, but if I round it here, Okay. So I have 90 and I have 5. Okay, so now my variable value in my variable is rounded. Okay, so now I get the correct coordinate value 0.0 and 5.0. So now my output is correct. Okay, so this is what we call as a semantic error. There is no syntax error, but when we check with our output sample, our coding is not correct. So that's why we need to think a little bit which part that we need to change. Okay, so in this case, I need to change here. Instead of round it here, I need to round it here to get the correct value for coordinate value. Okay, do you understand now?
Understood, madam.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what is the question by Yahya. Yahya, can you repeat your question?
Actually, guys, madam, I thought that for x we can change the angle from degrees to radians in the place of round. X equal to length times.
Oh, you mean you want to use your own calculation?
Yes, ma'am. Just
Okay, like this, Yahya. You can use your own calculation, but why you want to use your own calculation? Since we have the function. Okay, because sometimes if in the assessment we will have a rubric for we will give you a mark if you use function in the library. Okay,
so like this, madam. Just
like
to
this. Oh,
yes,
means that you want to directly do it.
yeah.
Directly do like this. Okay, if your output similar like this, then that will be okay. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, class. Everybody settle? Done?
Yes, madam.
Okay, eh?
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
Do you have any question?
No, doctor.
No. Okay. Now, your work for... Okay. In this assignment group, I found 3 students did not enter their name yet. Betul. 3 students. 49. Okay. So class, please make sure you have group member. Okay, you have groups. Because I want you to find out your case study for each group. Let's say mechanical engineering, Muhammad Izul, Satish Kumar, Deirun dengan Wanisa. So I want you to find your case study. Next week I want to ask to ask each group what is the case study for your assignment. Okay? So that's your task that you have to discuss among your members. Okay, and then I want you to report to me next week during class what is your case study. Let's say for this one, energy and our environmental engineering technology, Siti Nofatihah and Sophia. So Siti Nofatihah and Sophia need to discuss what is their case study. Okay.